Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Coming to you live from the basement of an abandoned training facility where we talk about fighting, training, and events. It's the Fight Mixer Show, where you can hear about all the local and world combat sports happenings. Get ready. It's time to gear up and square up because we're going live on the Fight Mixer Show.
Happy Thursday, mofos. Welcome to the Fight Mixer. Mr. Gabe, what's going on, brother?
Man, good. Just, enjoying the day. Non-audio problems. So I'm loving it. Yep.
After the last episode, we've done advancements in our production value tenfold. So
yeah, we threw like $7.26 at it, and look what we got out of it. Boom.
Unbelievable, man. That last episode, we want to personally. That last episode with Shonie Carter, we want to apologize for. We are so sorry from the bottom of our hearts and bottom of our asses. We are so sorry about that episode.
The problem was Shonie and I were using the same dial-up connection.
Right. AOL. Were you guys using Windows 98 or like AOL? Like what were you guys using?
Oh, 97.
Dude, it's been a crazy week. Last weekend was UFC Fight Night with Colby Covington pulling up a big win against Tyron Woodley. Did you see that fight?
I did, actually. Well, I slept through a portion of it. It was not the most exciting fight, but you know what? It was kind of how I expected it to go. There's no denying that Colby's tough. I think his upcoming fight with LeBron James should be interesting.
I'm shaking my head, right? Like, oh my God, that call out at the end, like, and I listen. I like Colby Covington. I've had him on my podcast. He's a great guy. I know. Different strokes for different folks. Yeah. But like, fuck, man, he went to. If you guys missed the fights, he went into full-on character. Called out LeBron James, fucking Black Lives Matter. He called out every fucking person on the planet except Donald Trump. And then, as soon as Donald Trump called, it looked like he discovered his first boner. Like I never seen him just like light up with joy. Like it seemed like he broke character just to talk to Donald Trump. But like, why would you call out fucking LeBron James? Like, come on, man.
But no. That was actually exceptional because LeBron James is talking about him, and now he's getting mainstream media attention. I actually felt like that was a brilliant tactic.
Yeah, but it also could be like the wrong attention. And by the way, Gabe, happy birthday to your daughter. She turns 1. Congratulations. Happy birthday, sir.
Valkyrie just walked in the door right now, and she appreciates the happy birthdays.
Yeah, but it's the wrong kind of attention, though. And my biggest complaint with it, too, is, one, Colby Covington is not like that in real life. Hello! That's Gabe's daughter.
Look at that.
The next Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, y'all. The next killer.
That's right. Yep. Absolutely killer. But I thought, as far as the mainstream media attention, it was brilliant.
So this is my biggest problem too. Like Israeli Exelia, like he's fighting this weekend. He made comments about like he's gonna knock that guy down like the Twin Towers. People had a big problem with it, and people went crazy about that. Like how Israel, he said, "Oh, I'm not." Yeah, he said, "I'm gonna knock that guy down like the Twin Towers." Everyone had a big problem with it. Colby Covington goes after Black Lives Matter, LeBron James, everything like that. Nobody has a problem with it. Nobody. Like, I have a problem with that, and I like Kobe. I think it's the wrong kind of attention. It makes our sport seems it brings the wrong kind of attention. Like it makes our sport look ignorant. You know what I'm saying?
It is. You do realize it is, right?
It's completely fucking.
Tito Ortiz was a champion once.
Yeah.
UFC champion. Like
Right.
I don't need to say any more than that.
But still, man, I don't know. I think unnecessary, man. Unnecessary. Completely fucking unnecessary. So what's the next matchup for Kobe? I
didn't hear about the Adesanya comment. People have their decisions of what they get mad about and what they don't get mad about. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry. What was your question about Kobe?
So what's the next matchup for him? Like, where does he go from here?
I was just that Chimiev kid, the one that everyone's like all have like a double boner for. I want to see him versus Colby.
He beats Damian Maia.
Whatever it is. I don't know his name. But like everyone's got this hard on for him. Like they say he's Khabib 2.0. If he beats Maia, he should fight Colby.
Maia's going to be the gatekeeper for that division, and he's going to plow right through Maia. And that guy is so hyped right now. Like Dana White literally has the biggest hard on for this one fucking guy. And after his last win, he looked absolutely fucking devastating. He looked like a world beater. You know, I think it could be something special.
It's hard to gauge, right? A 17-second knockout, as impressive as that is, it's hard to gauge. I think the Damian Maia fight is going to be the telling fight. If he goes through Damian Maia, and no one goes through Damian Maia gets beat, but no one goes through him. If he goes through Damian Maia, he's the real deal. And
you have to keep in mind, too, Damian Maia is super dangerous on the ground. He tapped out Ben Askren. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. So he's a serious fucking Jiu-Jitsu practitioner. And Khamzat is actually a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So this is where things get really interesting. Like, if you could place it together, Gabe, like, do you think, he plows through Maia, gets to the contenders, or, do you think he's going to have some trouble with Maia?
Well, Damian Maia is a gangster, and for me as a jiu-jitsu guy, I think he's amazing. I don't know enough about Khamzat to make a decision about that, but I will say if he does plow through him, you need to give him a contender and really build him. I think Colby would be the perfect matchup.
Kobe's a dangerous fighter, though. Kobe's a dangerous fighter.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. If you want to look, all the hype on this guy, if he blows through Damian Maia, you give him Colby Covington, now you have your next contender for 170. Colby is he the next 70-pound contender? I mean, he just went through Woodley, but I don't know where everyone else ranks. You have Gilbert Burns, who's the number 2, who's in line, right? I think Woodley was the number 3. So if this Khamzat guy is as badass as everyone's saying is, have him fight Colby for number 1 contender.
Did you see how much shit fucking Colby was saying to Usman after the fight, like in their post-fight speech? Did you see that?
I did not. I was still waking up. The fourth round, I took a long nap, and then my daughter started poking me. I think it's over, Daddy. I think it's over. She's one. She barely talks, but that's what she said. So,
her first words.
They picked up right where they left off too. Like they picked up right where they left off. Like Kobe was saying, "Oh, I got that dragon energy. I'm gonna fucking smash you now." And all Usman was saying, "Dude, I broke your face." And these guys were arguing back and forth, and it was. I mean, it was pretty crazy.
Well, you can say whatever you want, but Usman, when everything is said and done, he did break his face and he beat his ass and made him run out like a little bitch. Like really, dude, you can say whatever you want. Like when push came to shove, he got his shit pushed in and ran away like a baby. Like, dude, I'm sorry. Like if I was Usman, that would be my comeback every time. That I have nothing else to say to you. smashed your face and cried like a baby. I'm
I
done,
want
son.
I want to see Mazadov fight fucking Kobe Covington because they used to be best friends. They used to be BFFs. They trained on American Top Team. Something happened. There was a beef between them. I want to see that fight.
I think it's a good fight, but I think Colby with his wrestling can always make it a boring fight. And like as gangster as Masvidal is, look at his losses. Look who beats him. Wrestlers beat him. He loses to guys that he should never ever lose to, but he loses because of takedowns.
Right. Not necessarily. My friend Ben Askren tried playing that game and he caught a knee right to the dome.
Dude, Ben Askren had the worst single takedown that of all time, to a point where high school wrestlers were hitting me up like, what the flying fuck was that? and I don't know. I don't know what that was. Like, dude, it was like he ran in like a zombie like this. And I don't know if he was just trying to play with them or what, but dude, it was the worst game planning I've ever seen. Like hands up, like just the worst. And like that okay, but okay, all that aside, Colby's not going to run in there like that and give Maz he respects Masvidal enough to just do that.
Right. But also Kamazat has been fighting in the middleweight division. So is he going to drop back down to welterweight to fight Colby? Like Kamazat has been extremely successful in the middleweight division. I think personally he's going to have a lot of success in the middleweight division, especially, you know, I don't know how he's going to do against like Israeli and Costa, who's fighting for the championship this weekend. But right now he's in middleweight, and he's doing a great job. He's doing a fantastic job in middleweight. So why drop down and fucking try to fight Kobe?
He's playing both weight classes. And the things I'm thinking he's probably a natural 190 pounder.
Right.
Right?
He looks
Or
like
maybe maybe like 70 should be his weight class. Like if you can do both weight classes, the thing is, if you're an 85er, you probably walk around 215.
Right.
Like realistically. Like, dude, that Israel guy, or I'm sorry, who's the guy Israel's fighting? What's his name?
Costa. Yeah.
Dude, Costa was in LA about 4 months ago. He looked like he was 240. Easy. Monster.
That guy looks like a fucking Mark Kerr. And the fact is, he's natural. He looks like a Mark Kerr during the days where if you piss hot iron, you're gonna get fucking. You really think? Don't even suggest that. Watch your dirty mouth, sir. No way. You think he's roided? You think he's dabbling? No way.
I mean, I don't know. If it quacks, it might be a duck. It might be a duck.
He's never pissed hot though. He's never pissed hot though.
Okay.
He looks fucking scary.
Hold on. Do you know when Barry Bonds got caught for steroids? Do you know how he got caught?
How did he get caught?
He didn't piss hot ever. Really? They rated the lab they do a specific type of steroids which like goes along with your body. I'm trying to think of what they call it.
Estrogen blockers, right? Like
a designer steroid. They found his name on the books.
Wow.
So he never the reason why he got busted is they rated the lab he was working or that he was going to and found his names on the books.
Right.
I'm just saying and listen, the Tour de France get tested more than anybody. And those guys are through the roof, and they may not look all big and strong like Costa, but they are doing stuff.
Right.
And there are ways around everything.
Right. Well,
I can tell you.
I'm sorry. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
I will never ever sell this person out, but I know someone who fought for the heavyweight title. And he used a fake penis to do his piss test. And that was how he did not get caught, because he was roided to the gills.
Josh Barnett. No way, not Josh, right? No way.
No, Josh gets caught, so no.
Yeah, Josh got caught. But who could it be? No, okay. Just say if I'm hot or cold, okay? Just let us play a little game, right? Oh, come on, Gabe! Come on!
I can give you just the weight class.
Okay.
But outside that, he used a fake wiener to piss, and he's never pissed hot.
What year did he last fight?
What are you drinking there? Is that
What?
apple juice?
Do not change the subject, sir. Do not change the subject. When was the last time he fought with a fake dick? Tell me, Gabe.
I don't know the last time he fought with a fake dick. The last time he fought with a fake dick, I'm not sure.
When did you find this out, Gabe? What are you concealing from us? Come on, tell us. Come on. Give us a little hint.
I will tell you this. There are many people that I know for a fact that have not pissed hot that I know use.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I don't want to blow anybody's spot, you know.
I'm not saying that Cost is using. I'm just saying it's possible.
All right, so at least like sprinkle some breadcrumbs, like hints towards the fake dick. Like, can you? What's this? Okay, what's the background spelling of his name?
Why?
Because this is hilarious. Wait, what?
Why are you so into fake dicks?
No, I'm just saying. Like, this is like a crazy story, man. I gotta know the heavyweight. Can you tell me off air though? I promise I won't tell. Scout's honor.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Were you a scout?
No.
What the fuck? You can't do Scout's honor if you weren't a scout.
All right, facts. Okay, true. Okay, fair enough. By the way, like, speaking of Mark Kerr, like watching that documentary, The Smashing Machine, literally killed my childhood. Did you ever see that documentary?
It's sad. Yeah.
If anybody is into mixed martial arts, like way back in the day, watch The Smashing Machine. It was this great HBO documentary. And I always thought Mark Kerr as this fucking world beater. He was at one point the top heavyweight in the world. He was an NCAA wrestler, incredible athlete, like a superhuman athlete. And you know, I always thought, just like boxing, you know, everybody's clean. You know, kind of like burst in my bubble, like Gabe usually does. I know you're looking at me crazy, but you lived through this. Think of me as like a little kid. I didn't think anybody was like doing fucking steroids and MMA. I thought it was like a sanctioned sport, just like, you know, like boxing and everything like that. But when I saw a documentary and I saw the rise of Mark Kerr and the fall and like the steroids and the steroid usage and the fact that he trained with Boss Rutan and Rico and like all these great guys, that was crazy, man. I don't know why anybody would fucking dabble with like any type of steroids or performance enhancer. Like, it's like a slippery slope, you know. It's just.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Why would they do it? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Performance. They're performance enhancing. What do you mean? Why? That's like that. The whole idea is to be a little bit faster, a little bit stronger, be able to train a little bit more. There's so much benefit from it. And I'll be honest, I think we should have an all-steroid league. I want the biggest and baddest dudes out there trying to kill each other. I'm sorry. Let's see it.
You know, but I know from an athletic standpoint, but from like your heart and from your balls, I mean, it shrinks your balls, kills your heart. You know, people in the WWF back in the day always took steroids and they die in their 40s and 50s. Like, I'm not talking from a performance standpoint.
Well, but now, but those guys were also living a hard life. If you're doing steroids and doing freaking horse tranquilizers and drinking, you know, as much as you're drinking, the dude, have you ever watched any like the Andre the Giant documentary?
Yeah,
dude, Andre the Giant. Now the steroids never came up, but he would just his drinking alone should have killed him.
Well, he was doing that to tranquilize the pain. Like, he was drinking because with his size and his mass, he was always in pain. And taking those bumps in the ring, I know people like, you know, hate on pro wrestling, but those bumps are very, very real. Those hits are very, very real. And for Andre the Giant, you know, he had this disease, you know, and it was killing his body. And those bumps, and later in his career, he did not take any bumps whatsoever because his knees were bad. He had to do surgery in his knees, and he would drink cases of beer just to numb his pain. Like it got really fucking bad for Andre the Giant. That's a great subject that you brought up. Crazy.
Well, but I'm saying that like listen, if you abuse anything, there are going to be bad side effects, right? There's going to be something, you give something to get something, right?
Right.
I think in the athletic world, it's always been there. It has always been there. And people, here's the thing about the steroid conflict. It's going to always be there. And as the testing happens, people are going to find ways to get around the tests. And that's just how it works. That's the nature of things, right? The evolution of things. Like they're going to find out tests to figure it out, and people are going to change it up. And growth hormone used to be the big one. Now they can test for growth, and EPO used to be another one. And now so there's always going to be a way around it. As a matter of fact, I remember one fighter would withdraw blood, have it oxygenated, and then put back in after weigh-ins. So he had more oxygenated red blood cells in his system. So he has a gas tank forever. That's basically like the way before EPO became a drug. That was the way that they would do it. Yeah, and that's a blood doping. That's a way of doing blood doping, which is 100% illegal. But that was something that was done.
I know. Japan and Pride, they're very lenient about. They're very, very lenient about steroid testing and all that fun stuff. I mean, look at Vanderlei Silva in Pride, and then look at him when he came to the UFC. Obviously, way different. But like when you fought for the UFC. What were drug tests as like strict? Was it kind of like lenient as Pride, or what was it like?
So I think I fought UFC 63. I think we did do a piss test. I mean, I have to say now, like the when they can pull you to do a test whenever is much different than when I was in. But you got tested every night. Like I believe I want to say after you fought.
Right. But was it tested through the UFC? Because, for their big stars, nobody wants to risk their big stars. Did they ever, were they very lenient towards like their main eventers? Like I guarantee if Chuck Liddell had a bad night and pissed hot, like I guarantee they would hide that urine sample. Like it was all through the UFC, right? All the drug tests.
Of course. I mean, there's been multiple times. Well, so they go through the commission, and you have to understand that you're dealing with a lot of money, and so they're going to either, I think, like for what was it? When Brock Lesnar fought Mark Hunt, he'd already pissed hot, and they let the fight happen anyways, and it was after the fact. There's been a few times that's happened to where like the person gets gigged, but they let them fight anyways, and then they deal with the repercussions after the fact. But then I'm sure there's also other times that it just gets buried. I'll be honest, I don't know enough about that one way or the other. I can only talk about my own experience. I mean, you hear things in the grapevine, but regards to that, like I can't really say one way or the other.
I think USADA was a necessary evil to come into the UFC to do their drug testing. You got to figure too, Lorenzo Fertitta, who is the former owner of Zuffa, who owned the UFC, he was on the Nevada State Athletic Commission. That's how he was able to, get into everybody's ears, figure out what they wanted as far as sanctioning the rules, and that's how we got the UFC the rules set and get it legalized across the country. It all started because I think Lorenzo Fertitta, he was also on the board that both suspended and got Mike Tyson reinstated. Like he goes way, way back, deep ties with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Like I feel like back in the day without USADA, he was able to hide a lot of shit that a lot of fighters would be doing, especially those fighters are drawing money. I guarantee he was the guy to say, okay, let's throw away that urine test, or let's disregard that.
I will say this: there's a lot of hidden baggage in MMA, and not just about drug testing or anything like that. There's a lot of things that are hidden and not given to the public to keep certain stars in a good light, or to ensure that the company doesn't take a hit for it. And I don't think it's just the UFC, but I know of now. I can't say when I say I know, but I've heard from legitimate sources about some things that would blow your mind, like just genuinely criminal activity. You're just like, but it gets swept under the rug, and it's business as usual. Very, very common in most business. It just kind of is.
Yeah. I think steroids not only affects, like, obviously it's going to bring out a good performance, and obviously, the side effects to an athlete are, detrimental to the heart, detrimental to so many, like, things of the human body, but also to the sport as well. Like, WWF gets a bad rap for being all steroid wrestlers and steroid out. I brought my girlfriend at the time to an MMA fight. And she's like, oh, they all look steroided out. Like, her first MMA event ever. Like, I think also it brings not only negativity to the human body, but also to the sport as well. Like, fans will look at it like they look at the WWF and like pro wrestling, like, oh, those are all just fucking steroided out guys. Like, I think there's so many. The cons outweigh the pros when it comes to antibiotic steroids and doing steroids and every stuff. And different strokes for different folks. But like, I just think that it's just bad for the sport and bad for the person.
Okay, so I'm going to start off by saying I am not a Tim Sylvia fan at all. Okay.
Right.
But do you remember when Tim Sylvia got busted?
Yeah.
You know why he was doing steroids? And I actually believe his reasoning for doing steroids.
He wanted to look good because
he wanted to look better because then he'd be more marketable, right? Do people want these ripped up, shredded beasts? And with gladiatorial, like even when we watch movies, you watch the movie Gladiator. How many big fat dudes are in that? Like, they're chiseled monster guys. That's what people aspire, or what they look for their athletes as a whole. So I think that's a part of it that a lot of people aren't even like taking into consideration. Dude, like a guy like Ngannou. Like, don't get me wrong, the guy punches like a machine. But look, and I'm not saying he's on steroid. I'm saying his stature makes him that much more marketable and scary because he is a big, solid, ripped up dude. Imagine if he was that size, but he was fat.
Right. But to play devil's advocate, I'm sorry for interrupting you. To play devil's advocate, though, Derek Lewis, his heavyweight counterpart, has also made a lot of money and has a lot of followers and got to the heavyweight championship just from being a charismatic guy. And he doesn't have the typical ripped up body. He's funny as fuck. He says, my balls are high. Like, it's hilarious. Like, he makes money just being Derek Lewis. I think the connotation that you have to be jacked and ripped to the gills, I think that's thrown out the window when it comes to charisma. Don't you think?
Oh, I agree with that. But I'm saying that is a part of it. Like, and you got to take everything. Yeah, look, performance is obviously going to be the first thing you're looking for, right? Like, when everything is said and done, you want an edge on strength and speed and the ability. And a lot of guys just do steroids to get through camps. Like, dude, when the amount of stress you put on your body, I'll tell you, at 43, I cannot do, even if I was on steroids, I could not do what I did when I was in my 20s.
Right.
It's like the amount of load that you put your body through on 3 days, it's really, really difficult. Correct. And you're going to figure out some way to do it. And whether it's, growth hormone or EPO or whatever the designer steroid is going to get you through it, you're more than likely going to do that just to get through your training regimen. Now, then you're also going to be a little faster. You're also going to be a little stronger. But I will say this. Steroids do not make a fighter. You have to be able to fight. You have to have a skill set. Like Anderson Silva got busted. Anderson is a gangster no matter what. It wasn't the steroids that won him in all those championships. It was Anderson Silva that won those championships.
Right. I absolutely agree with you. And just like you said, steroids does not teach you how to fight. I mean, I've seen bodybuilders go into the gym for their first class of jiu-jitsu and get tapped out by that 90-pound girl who's a blue belt and get fucking dollywhopped and tapped out 20 times within a minute. Like, steroids obviously is not going to make you a better fighter. And everyone has different reasoning. And to your point too, even on the AMIs and training, like it's time consuming. You're always stressed out. You're worried that opponent is in the back of your head. The crowd, it's just so many things mentally that's going on, and physically too. Like going to that ice bath every single night after doing 2-a-days and 3-a-days, even from the AMIs, because I never was on your level, Gabe, and I never will be. But like even from an amateur standpoint, it was fun. Being in the fight game is so fucking physically brutal, and it was mental and physical torment. just to achieve this one goal and for pennies. People are not paid that much. And in order to get to the top, you're going to have to, win your fights in order to get that big payday if you want to pursue this as a dream and a career at the same time. So I see it from your perspective too.
Well, then also understand that once you get there, you want to stay there, right? And there's going to be all these hungry lions that are coming to take that spot. So you're going to do what you can to ensure that you get there. And designer steroids are a great way to ensure that you can do that without also, getting caught up in the testing.
Gotcha. So our two guests have not responded. Obviously, they have busy training schedules and everything like that. Try to fit them in. Unfortunately, it's not happening. So, I'm just going to talk to Gabe, which is just as good as talking to two awesome fighters. So, we're just going to keep it. Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
Dude, are you kidding me? Those guys are in the game right now. Those guys are in the game right now, putting it down. Go ahead.
No, I've been bothering Gabe and bothering production and everything like that for an Ask Gabe episode, just to talk to shit about like the old days. So finally I get my wish. So cheers on that.
Hey, ask away. If it's in my power to answer it, I will give it to you.
Gotcha. So was Dana White always a dick, or did how was doing business with Dana?
You know what? I actually like Dana. I hate to, I ran into Dana a few times, and he's always been very, very friendly. But he is 100% a businessman, and there has been a complete persona change as he's gotten bigger and bigger. He can be a nice guy. He's shrewd as shit, and if he doesn't like you, he will make your life fucking hell. But he can be personable. I remember I ran into Dana at the Hard Rock. We were both just happened to be in the Hard Rock, and we sat and talked for about 10 minutes, and very, very friendly, and just like, running into another associate. You know what I mean? He's not a friend of mine, but we just talked about random shit. It wasn't even in that respect. I think I think I've actually talked shit about Dana, but when it's all said and done, I just know who Dana is, right? Like he's about the business, and he's put in the position that he's in for a reason. I think he can absolutely be a prick, though.
Yeah. I ran into him once, and he was actually a really nice guy. So John Doomsday Howard actually fought out of Wakru, and that's a gym I trained at briefly when I lived in Boston. And UFC was in town for UFC in Boston. Ran the tour fighting James Toney. Fucking awesome. He was in town. Oh, you did?
I fought on that card. I got beat up by Joe Lozano in that fight. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not. Oh my God, it's a small world after all. But briefly ran into him, and it was somewhere on the street right by Austin. Like Austin and Boston are kind of connected to each other. So ran into him briefly. I'm like, hey, good to see you. It seems like he's a super personable guy to fans and everything like that. But he has such a reputation as a business guy of being so cutthroat with contracts, with money, take it or leave it. Nobody's bigger than the sport. No one's bigger than me. He gets that reputation. And somebody just tweeted out this girl that fought on the last fight card that after it was all said and done, she didn't get a payment bonus, she didn't get a knockout bonus. And in her bank account, it said, hey, Monday morning, my bank account's now at $17 after having an excellent win this weekend. After fighting, now I have $17 in my bank account. And she tweeted that to Dana, and no response or anything like that. He always has this persona of coming across as, and you saw glimpses of that in Ultimate Fighter Season 1 and negotiating. Oh my God. The videos of him negotiating with Fedor Emelianenko and M1, it was glaring of how much of a dick he can be when it comes to business.
Yeah, well, the other part is right now, Dana is just a figurehead. People think like you're doing business with Dana. He was hired by the company that owns the UFC. They pay him a salary. I mean, he's part of it. I mean, there's no denying that he is a part, but I guarantee you, he doesn't do negotiations. Maybe someone like a Conor McGregor or the top tier stars, maybe. But I guarantee you, most of the people when it comes to negotiating have no talk. There's no back and forth with Dana. I mean, again, he's a figurehead in a lot of the ways. You know what I mean? Like, but I will say he can be a very, very shrewd man.
Who was negotiating your contracts? Did you go through Dana, or did you go through like Eddie Bravo, who was the matchmaker, or who did you go through?
Eddie Bravo. Eddie Bravo's never done anything for the company. He did a play-by-play for a while.
Oh no, I was thinking of the wrong name. Sorry,
Joe Silva.
Joe Silva.
Yeah,
sorry.
Sorry about that. And I'll tell you, like here's a perfect example: is they asked me to fight Joe Lazon on 2 weeks' notice at that fight you were talking about, and I go, look, I haven't trained in a month and a half. And I'm doing this on a 2 week notice. Can I get a little extra money? And my manager called up Joe Silva, and Joe Silva said, I've got 4 other guys on the call right now. Fuck you, basically.
Really?
Take it or leave it. Yeah, I mean, they're very, very shrewd about that stuff. Very, very shrewd. I'll tell you that on the Ultimate Fighter, they sent me a contract that was about this thick. And the producer I was talking to goes, that contract right there is complete shit and does nothing for you. I'm telling you that right now. Have every attorney you want look at it. Have your manager look at it. Have your mom look at it. Have all your friends look at it. If you want anything changed in it, understand right now it's a no, and we'll go with somebody else.
Right.
And that's how they do business. And you know what? I brought that up to a friend of mine who is, at the time I think he was like a 6-12 fighter. And he goes, I would have fought. And I go, I know. And that's why he's like, I would have taken that in a heartbeat. Of course you would have. And that's why they can do that. There's always somebody else that wants that and will take pennies for it.
And there's no other players in the space. The UFC blew up with the Ultimate Fighter, so UFC was obviously a well-known name. The only one that make any sort of headway in the United States was Elite XC when they were on CBS, and they got the highest ratings with Kimbo Slice. But that whole company was circled around Kimbo Slice. So the dominoes fell right when Kimbo Slice did. So they completely did not know how to market it.
I used to go to the Elite XC's office, and they were spending money like they were like the biggest time company of all. Like they were spending money. They were spending money so much that it was no way that it was going to be viable. I remember going to their company headquarters in downtown LA and being like, or not downtown LA, but in Hollywood, going like the office space alone must have been $400,000 a month. Like just
right.
They were spending a lot of money.
Correct. But also that was to attract big names, right? Like that was to get, notoriety. That was to compete with the UFC. Yeah. You had to spend that much money because UFC was so far along in the game. If anyone was going to be competitive, like Affliction was the one that spent a shit ton of money. Like Donald Trump fucking backed that shit. Like, you had to spend a lot of money to compete. They
paid Donald Trump to be there.
No, really?
Yeah. the whole idea was so Trump is exceptional at marketing Donald Trump, and they paid him to be there. And like genuinely, like dude, this is common knowledge. Yeah. Trump was paid an appearance fee.
Oh my fucking god, are you serious?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with fucking? Oh my god, that's fucking insane. You gotta be shitting me.
Dude, look it up. Look it up.
I thought he was a money backer. I thought he was backing Elite Affliction.
Dude, Donald Trump is only good at marketing Donald Trump. Like honestly, yeah. Oh yeah, no. Like that whole thing was he became this like, oh, I might do some stuff. No. He was there expressly. They paid him to make an appearance.
Do we have Shonie Carter?
Is that Shonie Carter?
Yes, it is.
Oh shit!
What's going on, brother? Oh, he was drunk. Oh no!
And like a thief in the night, poof, he's gone.
We just got him for 2 seconds.
That was amazing. Talk about an
That's
interlude.
2 seconds of my life.
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
It's true.
So, yeah. So it was kind of like K1 Dynamite when they came to the United States in 2007 when Royce Gracie fought Sakuraba for the second time and Brock Lesnar fought Kim Cho whatever, and they paid Dennis Rodman, kind of like that, right?
To fight on that card. I was supposed to fight on that card too.
That card was like you couldn't have promoted it worse. Nobody showed up. Nobody bought tickets.
Here's an interesting piece of that. The California Athletic Commissioner at that point, I can't think of his name. But he was making it very, very difficult for people to get licensed for that event. He made everyone jump through hoops, and he declined my license because of the Ultimate Fighter, and that's why I didn't fight on that card. He said because I needed a psychological evaluation.
For what? That makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, you would think so. And then he. Oh, I think Shonie's coming back.
Oh, Shonie!
Oh, there you are.
What's up, baby?
Man, I've been hearing all types of crazy. Yeah.
What's going on, brother?
Everything. I'm making masks.
No
you heard
shit,
about
man.
the mask last time.
Yo, those look dope.
Wait a minute, you ain't seen this one. This one
Let
here.
me see that one. God damn. The International Pimp making international masks. That's fucking awesome, brother.
Hey,
what are you doing?
So it's been this whole thing.
This whole thing.
We got a little bit. We got a little bit, but we're almost getting a conversation going. We're gonna get Shonie on here.
I'm enjoying this. This is going to be almost a weekly thing where we come in. Shonie comes in for like 3 to 5 seconds, and then poof, like a thief in the night, he's gone.
I want to talk about, and it's so fucking crazy because he was talking about being in a movie with 50 Cent, fighting Dada 5000, like everything. We're getting some juicy shit.
All types of it. All types.
What's up, bro? So
I'm saying,
right, so
I was on the bus.
So you're going to be in a movie with 50 Cent. You're also going to be fighting Dada 5000. All this shit happening. So, like, going back on like last week, what's going on with you, man?
Well, let's see. I just got cast in a movie with 50 Cent. I don't even know the title of the movie yet. But moving on, Dada 5000 started talking crazy. His people keep calling me, but I still have not gotten an email contract. In between it, I'm working at UFC gym in Lombard, Illinois, making masks. Those are my COVID masks. I'm tired of looking like a ninja, a bandit, or a doctor. So I want to look like something nobody else looked like.
Whatever keeps it healthy, brother.
I made this one for a lady already. This is like a short song. That was another.
That's fucking dope, man.
So how do I get a mask?
How do we get a mask?
I've been telling everybody what I've been doing because they are anything from $75 to $100 because I'm laying stones by hand.
Wow.
And I've been telling everybody Venmo, unless you live next door or within Chicago, well, I will deliver. Zelle or Venmo, and then literally you add wherever you add the shipping because they're really light. So maybe like an extra $5. I don't know. But essentially, that's what I've been doing between personal treatment and avoiding looting and angry people. I did not know this country was so damn angry.
Yeah.
Both sides. My God. I'm like, crazy. Wow. I am glad I have not used any of my 7 black belts on nobody on the bus.
So you're saying for $75, I can buy a mask from the International Pimp, from an MMA legend, and the baddest motherfucker in the game, Shonie Carter.
Yes.
And it will be signed.
Jackpot.
It's a signed mask, right?
Yep.
Crazy, man.
Here's something else. I even started. I'm always hunting money, so I even started an e-commerce website, Mr. International Worldwide, for your household minor knickknacks. It's crazy. I'm trying to wake up to new money. I'm trying to figure out how the stock market works. I got a friend of mine. Oh, he's a student. I'm training. Nick Spacek. He's a 2-time world medalist in jiu-jitsu for his MMA debut. I am all over the place. I mean, I just survived a 3-year-old birthday party. My daughter, my 27-year-old daughter, ordered 3 pizzas. 2 walked out of the door with my sons and her. I didn't even eat the third one because the baby mama threw the 3-year-old mama threw most of it away when I got over there today. $78 for 3 fucking pizzas. I'm like,
goddamn.
Right.
Unfucking man.
Unbelievable.
What was the website name?
Mr. International Worldwide.
I'm going on that website right after. And so one question. So obviously you're coaching UFC gym, passing on your knowledge to other students and teaching them what you know, which you know a lot. So you can do a lot for these great kids who want to get into the sport.
It's fun.
Crane Mass, going to be in a movie. If you don't fight Dada 5000, are you going to call it a day and just stick to coaching, or do you want to fight again?
You know what? I need that money. And let's face it, back in the day when y'all see all them damn belts I got, 7 are missing from that. But that's another funny story. And they weren't, listen, the UFC, the people think the UFC is cheap now. They were, whoa, I'm talking like blue light special. I'm like, what the hell? I was making more money knocking cats out in the underground fight circuit, which I used to do. But that's another story. So it's nuts because I've been, like, when I do interviews, I always tell people 773-698-2224. That's the cell phone number. First name, last name, text. And then you tell me if you want personal training. And I have 2 seminars, Iowa, October 1st through 3rd. I think that's the date. And then November as well in Illinois, somewhere in the boondocks, Fairbury, Illinois. And this whole Dada 5000, I'm sick of them calling me and then don't respond to a contract because they know, you see these gray whiskers right here? I am a granddad. I'm a granddad. I have a 3-year-old daughter and a 1.5-year-old grandchild.
Good Lord.
And I'm not even using testosterone boosters, TRT or HGH yet. But I'm like, shit. I only give women closed fist bumps. I don't hug nobody, especially Eastern European women. No damn way.
Smart. Smart.
Because they all get big booties. Brothers don't know that. That shit's nuts. And you can't be walking around in booty shorts around my house and you end up pregnant.
You can end up pregnant.
Yeah. Even though my baby mama, she hates me. I'm like, look at Leilani. I have a true story because I'm always deviating. Y'all know how I am. That's why people love interviewing. So my 3 baby mamas, my daughter, my oldest child, she's black. She was a calculus tutor, but she smoked a lot of weed, and I had to get away from her. But that was before marijuana was legal, and I was in the Marines.
Right.
She's 27. I have 2 sons, 19 and 15. They're both taller than me. What the fuck? The tall one wants to be a reverend. The other one he's a freshman in high school. No bullshit. This boy told me, I said, let me help you with your homework, e-learning, right? He said, I'm working on engineering. I said, keep it moving. Keep it moving. I said, your dad talks Latin anatomy, jiu-jitsu, karate, judo, catch wrestling, Greco-Roman, boxing, anything but that. I said, covalent bonding of a molecular substrate of a molecule. Yeah. Engineering, get the hell away from me. So my daughter, my 3-year-old daughter, she's no joke, Negromanian. That's what she is.
What was that? What is she?
Negromanian. She's Romanian. Her mama from Romania, like from Dracula land.
I know Romania.
Right. I didn't know Romanian women had big booties like that. I knew about Hungary. But I was like, really? I heard about Albania. I heard about Hungary. Because I knew travel. I've used up 5 passports. But that's why they call me. That's one of 2 reasons why they call me Mr. International. The passports, and most of my ex-girlfriends are from not here. And the Bulgarians. Oh my God. Her name is Lilia Herstova. She's an ex-girlfriend.
Right.
She looks like Angelina Jolie with tits and ass. No bullshit. And she was in her early 20s when I was dating her in my early 40s. That's another story.
You have more notches on your belt than the entire Gap clothing line. You know what I'm saying, brother?
It's crazy. So I'm over here in Chicago by Midway Airport now, in a white Chicago cop's house, because he's like my homie. He's like, George and I go back. I won't ever say his last name. George, I call him St. George. Let me explain.
Please.
I'll hide the body. That's how tight we are. That's my buddy George. He's a cop. I have the key to his house, the key to his Subaru, the key code to get in his house where I am right now in my other space of living, because I don't like arguing with my Romanian baby mama. And people always talking bad about police. Well, I told George one day we were walking down the street going to jump on the train, the L. I said, George, you don't realize there are a bunch of black folks looking at you and me. I said, we make great for international and racial relations here in Chicago. He was like, shut up. I'm always making them jokes. I always say that. I said, I even told, I was a training manager for LA Fitness. Right. And one day my karate instructor came in my job. And he's like one of them real, he's now retired, but he's in real cops. He's Japanese and Hawaiian. He was a cop for 30 years. And he was that dude that always walked around in his uniform with his gun. And so he don't, he type, he don't let you know who he is. He just walk in. So he walked in and he's like, he getting it. I need to talk to you. I'm like, all right, I'll be right there. The police people were like, what the fuck? He said, we got to go right now. The general manager of the health club, the district manager, they were there. And they're like, what did you do? I said, oh, no. I'm black. I get to sit in the front seat now. And they were like, what? I said, I sit in the passenger seat. I'm not allowed to drive. They were like, are you shitting me? I'm like, and the operations manager, there's always tiers of manager. And so I said, come on downstairs. I said, Sean, let's go. I said, let's roll up out of here. So we get on the elevator, 7 floors up in the mall. And he's like, why is he with us? I'm trying to prove to him that I'm not getting in the back seat. And so they said, I get fired if I get in the back seat. And he's looking like a Japanese RoboCop with his SWAT shit on, and that gun is way too fucking big for anybody. Like you go hunting boars or elephants with it.
Exactly.
So I'm like, Sean, do you mind? Can I show him your weapon? You mind showing him your weapon? No, not even half a fucking second went out. He and pulls it out. This manager about shit himself.
Probably.
And I'm like, oh yeah, I know. So he handed it to me, and I said, look, see, this is a hammerless. This is a flash suppressor. This is a hammerless recoil right here, and he has an extended clip that carries the extra 2 rounds. I said, I handed back to my instructor. He reholsters, and they were like, what? They're like, what the fuck? And so I said, oh damn, shit, I left my house keys. I'll be right back. We ain't got time for this. I gotta go get my keys. I'm gonna be fucked up. I gotta get a ride back. So the managers, they like, are you? So he said, well, you got 3 minutes. No bullshit. So we go up the elevator slow as fuck. They were like, are you a cop? No, that dude, I said, the dude in the front seat of the cruiser, he was in my spot, but that's a district attorney. And the other guy in the back you saw, That was a naval. That's a SEAL Team 6 operator. I got to go work out with them. Then he's like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh yeah, I'm a Marine. And see what had happened was because I do MMA and yeah, cause see what had happened. The dudes from Black Hawk Down are in town, and I'm working with them, and I gotta go early. This is some shit you can't even make up. So everybody's like, "What the fuck?" So I said, I ran in my office, grabbed my keys. I explained on Monday. See y'all later. You got to work Saturday. I'm sick. I got to call off. I don't feel well. So I run 7 flights down to get in the car, the cruiser, and going on.
Yeah.
Come Monday, everybody's looking at me. The regional manager apparently got the memo. No bullshit.
Oh fuck.
Right. So I'm like, bam, what's up, Mark? How you doing? And I'm like, hey, Lonnie, what's cracking, dude? And I say, and I'm like hollering at everybody, like, man, we got a meeting today. What's up? Ain't no other personal training manager here. We need to talk to you. I'm like, oh yeah, what's up? I got a busy morning. Y'all can't be holding me up trying to make a sale. Bam. And they were like, we heard about what happened Friday. I'm like, oh yeah, that's my instructor and the district attorney and a naval operator. What's up? They were like, who are you? Because the regional manager made a special trip. You never see a regional manager, right?
I'm Shonie Carter, baby. That's what he just said. I'm Shonie Carter. I do what I want.
Right. No, here, this was the funny part. So them old LA Fitnesses were Valley Health Clubs. I painted my own office. You're not supposed to paint your own office. They have unions for that. So I painted my own office. Then you have to imagine, if you've been in a health club, you know everything is crisp and pristine. Right. I have pictures on the wall. Like pictures on the wall. Like Carmen lecturing me, but that's another story. Don't ask me about it. Then there's Bill Kazmaier. Then there's like Kenny Mundy or Kevin Jackson from when I was at the Olympic Training Center. Different story. Right, don't ask me. So then you see a picture of me on the Pyramid of Giza. They're like, what the fuck are you? What is that? That's the Pyramid of Giza in Cairo, Egypt. But that was an export. I said, boss, this too much to explain. They're like, you're not supposed to be in the pyramids. I know. How'd you get the country? That's a different story. What are y'all talking to me about? Why a naval? And so the one guy was like, I was in the Navy. Why was a Navy SEAL here? Oh, because I work out and train with them. You train Navy SEALs? Fuck no. I said, no, that ain't what I do. I show judo and this other shit called Greek pancration. That's that fighting style from the movie 300. I'm a master instructor in Greek Olympic gladiatorial combat.
Right.
And they were like, wait, what? I said, oh yeah, y'all hired me because I was in the UFC. See, and I'm trying to explain to Mark, the regional and the district manager. I said, oh, okay, so I'm a rifle expert in the Marines. I can score a headshot from 500 yards without a scope. And they're like, wait, what? I said, I can kill you from 5 football fields away, but that's no big deal because I don't carry a gun. I said, I'd rather stick my thumb in your trach and push down your kyphoid and crush it and break the epiphyseal membrane and make it choke on you. And
or like, back this. That's a widowmaker.
Oh, that came up. That's hilarious. Because I had the picture of me knocking out Matt Serra with the spinning back fist. They was like, why are there pictures on your office wall? That's how I got 70 clients in the gym. Because that's what happened. Because I put pictures on the wall to teach them, to show people that I'm not just I'm not just a tight shirt guy. That's what I do. And so the whole shit show was about 30, 45 minutes of me saying, see what had happened was. And so it's been like this my whole life. So they said, okay, just do what you do. Just don't hurt anybody. I said, oh, no, fuck no. I said, because Chuck Norris wasn't like that. And it was like, come on. I'm like, what? You know Chuck Norris? I said, no, Chuck Norris knows me because I'm in the Hall of Fame for martial arts with Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee and Michael Jai White and Wesley Snipes. They were like, bullshit. And I point to I have a little cute little plaque they give us. And so it's sitting up against the file cabinet, but it was laying down. I said, see right here, bam, right here, USA Action Martial Arts. And they're like, out of Mark's mouth, he's like, who the fuck are you? And I'm like, I'm John.
See, to the uninitiated, Shonie, like, and I grew up watching you. So, like, and
that's hilarious.
Yeah, and I can't believe, like, they didn't know you because, like, again, I grew up watching you. You were on The Ultimate Fighter, everywhere.
No, this is the hilarity because most corporations, like health clubs, they no matter who they hire, they don't ever want an employee to be bigger than the company. Like how they get, you know how they extricated Randy Couture out of the UFC by bringing Brock Lesnar in?
Yeah.
Well, that's all Brock was designed to do. Because remember, Randy was wrecking everybody.
Exactly. With Tim Sylvia, killed him.
Dude, and literally Randy wanted more money.
Mm-hmm.
When I was on the show, The Ultimate Fighter, I brought so much to the fucking table. I know it. They didn't have to tell me. I knew why I was there. Anytime you watch The Ultimate Fighter, think about from what season are they on now? It's now called The Contender, I think.
Yeah,
but it
was like 30, right?
Right. So they didn't have numbers anymore. Think about this. Every Contender show, Ultimate Fighter, it is boring as fuck unless they have somebody to start shit.
Right.
My job, I knew they were not going to let me get a title fight against George St. Pierre.
Right.
And I knew it because I actually fucked up. Because what happened off camera was this. George was training he was there do you remember when he fought Matt Hughes?
Yeah. The first time or second time? Second time, yeah.
Okay, buckle up. This is some groundbreaking shit right here.
Fair.
Okay, y'all know me as Shonie Carter.
Mm-hmm.
But have you ever used Wikipedia on me?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. I looked you up.
Marion Bickham III.
Right.
Right.
Well, Shonie is my nickname. Carter is my mother's maiden name. Okay. Going to Marion Bickham spanked Matt Hughes' ass in wrestling. I'm talking like 9-1. I beat his ass.
Yeah.
And so they even the coaches at Lincoln, it was a junior college called, I forget the whole Lincoln College. When we had tournaments, dual meets or whatever, he never wrestled me again.
Right.
So in betwixt, I placed 4th in junior college, and literally I went overseas representing the United States twice in the junior college level with D1 wrestlers.
Yeah.
Betwixt, I started taking judo. So I became really dangerous. I was trying to make the Olympics in judo and Greco-Roman wrestling. I tore my ACL, but I placed 4th at the Olympic trials. And I'm explaining all of this to you. So I almost earned a black belt 6 months in judo because I wrecked the state championships, white belt to green, brown belt, and I placed 2nd in the black belt division as a white belt. Now, speeding up ahead, Ultimate Fighter. GSP, Georgius, as I call him, or Gorgeous, Georgius had a fight coming up. And I said, oh, Pimpin', let me hook you up. I'm going to show you how to wreck his ass in 7 minutes. And we were the only ones. Remember, I jumped ship. I went to the blue team to work out with them.
Yeah.
So Gorgeous worked out with me because they didn't want to work with me, which didn't make no sense because I wrecked the whole damn team.
That makes no sense.
Right. So literally, I said, "Come on, let's do this, fucker," because that's how I talk to him. Even if you enter, he'll tell you this whole story. So I showed him a throw called Tai Toshi and Harai Goshi. Y'all saw Karo, you saw Ronda do it, but I did it before both of them. UFC 22, I threw Brad Gum 13 times in a 2-round fight.
Goddamn.
So literally, And you can look on the fight pass. It's all right there. So
Yep.
essentially, I said, let me show you he's a sucker for this. And he was like, what? I said, come on, knuckle up, fucker. Try to take me down. I said, well, shoot the double leg. You don't know judo or Greco-Roman. Shoot the double leg. I dare you. So literally, George did what George does athletically. I stopped his shot. I jacked him up and I threw him with a Harai Goshi. But I held onto the arm and I stepped over his head and I didn't fall back with the arm. I had him in an arm bar and I let go. He was like, what is this? And this is why that clip, I can't believe there are people like you. That's what George said on the show and on YouTube. It wasn't just me teaching her how to walk like a pimp. I said, come on, let me show you this other called Tai Toshi. And I threw him again. They were filming. UFC was filming. And I didn't think about it because I'm just getting the giggles of working out with George. Because we homies, you know, I knew I wasn't going to fight him. And I told him, dude, they ain't going to let me fight you. Get the fuck out of here. And I said it with the microphone on because no fucks were given.
Yeah.
So literally, I said, now throw me. He said, well, I said, do what I just did, fucker. Literally. He is a dry sponge. He learned those throws in 7 minutes. Period. And that's okay, knuckle up. Now we're going to do a bare knuckle. And he's like, Shonie. I said, shut up. Quit being strange. So we started doing Kyokushin style bare knuckle knockdown karate. Punches to the body and kicks to the legs and no punch to the, and literally they were like, I forget Andrea Richter. She was an EP on the show. She comes running from wherever the fuck they were hiding in that booth, looking at us. Stop, stop, stop. I'm like, what? They were like, you're going to get hurt. I'm like, no, the fuck I'm not. I said, all right, un momento. And so literally I said, Georgis. I said, Kyosuke, no me emotion better, us. And I bowed to him, and we bowed to each other. And he walked out. They were like, what was that? So I was just speaking to him in Japanese. He's a karate guy, and I do karate too.
Yeah.
Because we were doing kicks to the body and kicks to the legs. And then after that, we shit showered and shaved. And that's when, because remember, I already beat Rich Clemente, and I was out of shape. I didn't even train going into the Ultimate Fight. I said, I'm going to kick y'all's ass out of shape.
You don't got shape. You don't got shape at all.
Well, no, when I was on the show, I promise you, I was partying the night before. It was not until, because they selected me to go first because they thought they was going to eliminate me. Because I was the Wily, even then I was the Wily Cat veteran with the most amount of fights. They wanted to get me out the way to maintain control of the selection. Out of shape, if you don't know Yoko Otoshi or Ukigoshi or a lateral drop or don't clinch with a Greco-Roman wrestler who flipped to MMA, that's a huge problem. And that's what happened. And so when George GSP fought Matt, what did he use? He used a low kick and he went up high and he threw Matt to an armbar. I showed GSP that. That's why.
Crazy.
And it's crazy because even then I knew they were not going to let me fight him because I knew I was also plotting. That's my dog, but I was still plotting. I wanted to feel what it was like for George to shoot on me. I knew I could stop his takedown.
Yeah.
Literally. When they saw us go, and we weren't moving around. We was fighting. If you only ever seen Nick bare knuckle karate, that shit's on YouTube. You'll freak the fuck out. And I'm gonna tell you that bare knuckle knockdown karate is way harder than MMA. That shit hurts. Even when you win, you want 2 Viking and a shot of Grey Goose. I promise, because that's what I've done before. So, I mean, I've won an 8-man tournament. I've won a few of them doing that, but that's just me doing Wily Cat shit. But it's been nuts the whole time from the UFC years to fighting and competing, winning and losing. Now I'm back in the UFC gym. This is the second round at UFC gym.
Right.
And so now just like there's a young lady named Michaela Soto. She's an IFBB pro women's bodybuilder, physical. I forget what it is. Sexiest. Oh my God. And I got the thing for her, but I know I'm pretty sure she's taken. I can't remember, but
Probably. The good ones are. The good ones always are.
Oh my God. I'm sick of Brazil. I'm sick of Ecuador. I'm sick of bodybuilding women. I'm sick of the thoughts on Instagram because they never in Chicago.
But I do have a question for you. I do have a question for you. And going back to the Ultimate Fighter, because you were in the Ultimate Fighter when they were investing so much money into Matt Hughes. Like Matt Hughes fought Police Crazy, which was just to pass the torch. Like they were investing a lot of money in Matt Hughes and then George St. Pierre. And I never realized why, because you fought in Pancras, you were on Tough, you had a tremendous legacy, and you knocked out Matt Serra, who beat George St. Pierre. Why you never fought in Pride?
That's a funny story too. Huh?
Yeah, why you never fought in Pride? Because they would have loved you in Pride.
Oh, buckle up. Ooh, y'all just never understand what you about to get.
Please.
Before the UFC buyout, buckle up.
Okay.
I signed with Pride 1 week before it was announced the UFC had bought Pride.
Yeah.
That money that they were going to throw at me would have changed my entire life and hustle.
No shit.
When they absorbed the Pride, they did not honor my contract.
Oh, fuck.
Then when that all happened, that was, what was that, 2005, 4, 5?
2007, the purchase. 2007. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I actually applied to be a Chicago cop.
Wow.
Before the Ultimate Fighter. I signed the Pride contract around that, right? I'm trying to remember when it was I signed. When they bought Pride, the letter of acceptance to the Chicago police and the UFC contract came the same day in the mail. No bullshit.
Wow.
And literally, I was like, do I take the job as a cop or do I try to go after this dream?
Right.
And well, we know what I did.
Yeah.
I tell everybody, I'm like, man, it was nuts because it was so much that could have happened with me. Look at Conor McGregor.
Right.
Okay, he's rowdy. I get it. He wears suits. I get it. I got a closet right now from suits from 2006 that I've never worn. I actually paint pictures. I talk shit. I do sculpture. I do art. I have multiple black belts. I've done movies. I'm in the movie Divergent. I wouldn't lie about being cast in a movie with 50 Cent. You just can't make that shit up. Right. Only I can make up is saying, yeah, I'm about to go do a track with Jay-Z. But no, that's not true. But, I mean, I brought so much to the table when those contracts and then the acceptance letter to the Chicago police. And then when they found that when I said that I beat Matt Hughes on camera, y'all didn't see that. Right. It was so much footage on the cutting room floor.
Right.
It was ridiculous.
But they had so much money behind Matt Hughes. They had so much money behind Matt Hughes. They couldn't afford you saying like one of the competitors actually beat up Matt Hughes. They couldn't do that from a business standpoint.
Yeah, they knew. Yeah, because I would have. Yeah. Because even on the show, when Matt showed up, I even checked his ass because he had said something derogatory to Dean Thomas, and we were in a Japanese restaurant. And if you ever talk to Dean, he'll tell you the same story. I said, Matthew, you talking out your mouth the wrong damn way. Don't get fucked up.
Right.
And he was like, I don't think so. I said, look, do you want Miriam Bickham to whoop your ass again? And he looked at me. I'm like, yeah, that's right. And everybody was like, they go, ooh. I said, yeah. And they were like, what are you talking about? I said, ask Matthew.
And that was back in the day when Matt Hughes was the cockiest guy ever. Like that, and that tragedy that happened I'm so glad he survived it. But like back in the day,
Dude.
even during the UFC documentary, he was not a nice guy, especially to his opponents. He was
tell you.
kind of a dick.
I almost whooped his ass in Atlantic City. His manager at the time was Monty Cox. And Monty was all types of strange because he managed me as well. Conflict of interest. So we were I think it was a Matt Serra fight leading up to it. Literally, they were all sitting there eating. And I happened to walk up on Pat Miletich because I fought him twice.
Yeah, you did.
And so that's when the UFC first came out with trading cards.
Right.
I have the original trading cards.
Right.
So everybody I'd asked to sign them would sign them. So I'm trying to be cool. Matthew, I said, "Hey Matt, you want to sign my card for me?" And he took it. And he looked right at me in the eye and ripped it in half. And I jumped across the table. I was gonna knock his ass out. Pat Miletich and Monty Cox jumped up and grabbed me midair. I said, "Motherfucker, there's gonna come a day, and you better hope to God that you got some good shit in you." Wreck you.
Shonie, I don't mean to cut you off, but when Pat Miletich lost to Carlos Newton, and Carlos Newton was the UFC champion, they most certainly should have made that fight between you and Carlos Newton. And I don't know why they never fucking did that. I don't know why. That would have been a money fight. Two entertaining guys, money.
I'm gonna keep you informed on what went down.
Oh, please.
Now, mind you, I'm Shonie Carter, Mr. International. I can't make this shit up.
One and only. Amen.
They didn't want to.
What do you mean?
And they did not like the fact that Carlos beat Pat. If you had been backstage and heard the shit that was being said.
Why not? Carlos Uno was a very marketable guy. Like, he was on the Flyers when they had Carmelo Electra, and like, he was a marketable guy.
Yeah. He was weird as fuck too. I fought his ass, but he was weird.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna give you some more insight.
Please.
Okay, I fought Carlos in Montreal.
Yeah.
And so they were chomping and chewing at the bit at the W1. The organization was W1. And so I'll never forget it. From the airport pickup, there was this guy who was a physicist, an astrophysicist. And I said, I'm talking coming from the airport. I want to know what's going on with you. So this guy was an astrophysicist. I was like, who the fuck? I said, are you the promoter? He's like, no, that's Gerald. I'm like, who the fuck is Gerald? I said, you're an astrophysicist. How you got a boss? I said, what does Gerald do? What the fuck does he do? Oh, he's a plumber. I said, is Gerald one of Mario Brothers from Donkey Kong? I was kind of fucking plumber got an astrophysicist as an assistant.
What the fuck?
Right. So we get there, and I'm just looking at Gerald. Nice guy.
Yeah.
So, we hem and hawing through the week. Carlos finally shows up to the fucking pre-fight meeting and all this bullshit. And he wouldn't step, not the way in, but that pre-check.
Yeah.
I'm in my little Donna Karen's. I'm ready. And so I go step on. I'm like a pound or two over, but it don't matter.
Right.
So Carlos disappears. I'm like, what the fuck? Whatever. I don't get no fuck.
Yeah.
The weigh-ins. He was a no-show.
Dragon Ball Z Jiu-Jitsu, man. Dragon Ball Z Jiu-Jitsu. That was the style, remember?
Like,
it must have been part of the style.
What the fuck? So, I'm saying, y'all better handle this shit. I'm going to go get something to eat. So, the cameras, everybody's there, press conference, everything.
Right.
And so I say, everybody, I'm going to talk ordinarily, but I'm going to go get something to eat because this motherfucker ain't here.
Right.
So, literally, it gets late at night. But, I'm in Canada. I don't get no fuck. I get on the door. I'm like, yeah, who the fuck? I ain't Curly. I'm like, who the hell is this? It's Gerald. I'm like, oh, what's up? What's up? Can I talk to you? I'm like, yeah, cool. What you got, boss? Well, Carlos is having problems making weight, and we really don't want you to cancel this fight. I'm like, I'm in Montreal, fucking Quebec, Canada. I ain't about to. I need that money, pimpin'. And so I said, I tell you what, what's the problem? And so he was like, well, he's still away. I said, I know. I said, that's the situation. A situation's and problems, two different things. Sound different, spell different.
Right.
And so I said, what the problem is? Carlos is 11 pounds overweight.
Jesus
I'm like,
Christ.
I said, are you fucking kidding me?
Was this before Sakuraba in Pride? Was this before or after?
This is after Pride. So I'm
Okay.
like, I said, damn near doctor, Carlos Nunes is 11 pounds overweight. What the fuck? I said, I tell you what, I said, I don't give a fuck about that percentage of the purse. That money's already spent. I said, how much does he get? I forget. He was making more than me. Hometown, I get it. I said, I need that percentage to go up a few points. The fight goes on, and the title belt is still on the line.
Right.
And they were like, but Shonie, I'm like, the belt is still up for grabs. I don't give no fuck about his overweight problem.
Right.
I said, if that belt ain't on the line.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm a belt whore.
I know you
so
are.
They were like, okay. So literally, the day of the fight and the show was, about ready to go on. He comes in with his sweats and he's late coming to the, we get there at 5 o'clock, but the other fighters come in early.
Right.
This motherfucker was 5 more pounds. He was 16 pounds overweight.
What the fuck? Are you kidding me?
Right. So I said, you know what, motherfucker? I need that percentage to go up a little bit more. Fight gonna happen.
Gotta get that money, Shonie. Gotta get that money.
So the fight goes on. He gets a unanimous decision, even though I did all the throwing and punching and kicking.
Right.
And then the motherfucker got the belt. He won. Post-fight conference, he was talking about I was greasy.
Oh my God.
I'm like, motherfucker, nobody complains when you win.
Exactly.
I said, you got the home cooking award, attaboy, good job award with the belt. You show up a 16 pounds overweight for a 170-pound fight. And you're going to complain that you couldn't submit me.
It's fucking crazy, man.
Nuts.
Unfuckable. But you've accomplished so much, though. And that's a sparkle of what you've done and what you accomplished. And we are running out of time, though. But I do have one more question for you. Again, I grew up watching you. You're one of my childhood heroes. I watched you on television, played as you on UFC Sudden Impact on PlayStation 2. Played as you.
Yep.
You've done so many incredible things. But is there an opponent, past, present, somebody that you wish you fought, somebody that you would want to fight? Who would be your opponent, or who would you want to fight?
The tale of two Matts. I want the trilogy of Matt Serra, or too bad Matt Hughes is out of the equation.
Right.
Because literally, that's what I say, the tale of two Matts. Because like the first fight with Pat Miletich, that was home cooking. He legitimately beat me in the UFC, but they stopped it way too damn early. But whatevs.
Right.
So literally, I would like to say Matt Serra and Matt Hughes.
Very cool. So, Mr. International Worldwide.com, you can buy all your products. I want to buy one of your masks. I'm definitely want to, stay protected during COVID. But anything you want to plug, anything you want to promote, I gotta get to Chicago and train with you and pick your brain a little bit. But the floor is yours, my friend.
All right. So I'm at the Yorktown UFC gym. and the training with me there. Now, if you're in Chicago, you can call me at 773-698-2224, and you can book a training session with me or buy training sessions with somebody. I travel to you, $90 an hour, all right, which I'm only $11 more than the going rate in Chicago.
Yep.
But you buy sessions in groups of 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20.
Right.
And most people buy 12 because I do need about a month or two to get results. Because right now I go live when I'm teaching judo and kickboxing. So
Correct.
I travel to people's houses around Chicago. I'm right by Midway. And I had to show up in the front yard of George's house. I go to Apex. I teach at Apex House of Grappling, 51 East Plainfield Road in Countryside, Illinois. I can train you at Chicago Fitness Center, 3131 North Lincoln Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook.
Absolutely, man. And again, you're one of my idols, one of my heroes growing up.
Mr. International Worldwide. I forgot about that.
Hell yeah. And we gotta get you back on the show. I need a full episode to talk. I have a bunch of other questions, but I'll save that for another episode. We gotta get you back on, my friend. Absolute fucking honor talking to you, Shonie Carter. I thank you so much for finally coming on the show. It's absolute honor, truly a pleasure. Thank you so much, Shonie.
All right, take care.
You too, brother. We finally got him on, baby. Oh, I'm so fucking happy. What? This is one of my heroes. That's like one of my childhood heroes. Holy shit, man. Holy fuck. I am happy. I'm a happy guy right now.
Yeah, I was gonna try to just sneak him on, but he was still having problems, obviously, on whatever phone he was using. So
I'm fucking psyched right now. I'm wired for sound right now. I'm so excited. Holy shit.
We weren't able to get Mike and Kevin on. I haven't got any response for them, but I'm sure we'll reschedule them, get them back on here.
One guy, one of the fighters, Mr. Rodriguez, he's coming off a controversial loss. Obviously, excuse me, guys. Focus on training. Focus on his next fight. Completely understand. It was cool that he was going to come on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. I was looking forward to talking to him about it because that's devastating.
Yeah, that's an absolutely fucking devastating loss, and I wouldn't want to talk about it.
I don't know if you watched the whole thing, but man, he took him to task the whole time, and then it was like two fights. It was like he beat him the first fight, and then Ed came back the second fight.
And I talked about that with somebody, and somebody was like, "Well, you're really going to talk to him after that battle, after that controversial loss, and that loss that sucks." And nobody wants to talk about that. And the inevitable was we're going to talk about that. So I completely understand.
If it was me and I would want to talk about it because I'd want to vent. Me personally.
If it was me, I would be pissed off and just want to train some more. So I completely understand. And Mike Broom, he's coming off a big win, big payday, 48-hour notice, beat someone in 31 seconds.
He was the underdog, heavily underdog, right?
Yeah, and he came off a big win. His life changed within 48 hours. So he's riding high. He wants to continue the momentum. And for him to even consider taking time with us, he shared my Instagram post. He's a great guy, super cool dude.
Yeah, I'm sure something just came up where he couldn't get to it. So
and I'm on East Coast, so obviously shit happens. So we forgive you guys.
Usually I do a better job of reminding these guys, but I was in the middle of flying to Kansas, so I couldn't really do as much as I usually do to keep them on track. But.
Yeah, you've been a busy cat. You've been an absolute busy cat, and So what's going on for next Thursday? This was the best show ever. I got to talk to Gabe and nerd out. I got to talk to Shonie and nerd out. Dude, this went from 6 to midnight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yo, it was fucking incredible show. Oh my god, amazing. What do we got next week, baby?
Don't call me baby, but let me see. So on the girls' show, Wednesday, we got Alicia Zapatella. So She's pretty badass. And then if everything pans out, we got Don Fry coming on next week.
Don Fry, he was
I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Don Fry.
So Don Fry, and let me explain to you guys. Let me explain to you nerds. Okay, Don Fry is an MMA fucking legend, pioneer. He wrestled for New Japan Pro Wrestling, fought for Pride in some of the most iconic bouts. His one bout where he's punching the guy over and over again. I don't know if you guys ever saw that. He fought against Takamura. That was a Japanese pro wrestler. Incredible fight. He's a fucking pioneer, and he fought in a battle with Ken Shamrock. We're gonna talk to him about that. I'm gonna ask him a bunch of questions, so I'm gonna nerd out when it comes to Don Fry. I have plenty of questions for Don Fry. If you thought my interview with Ken Shamrock was very, very nerdy, you have seen nothing yet when Don Fry comes on the show, because I got a bunch of questions for that guy. That guy's a legend, and I can't wait to talk to him.
I know Ken asked, said he wants to come back on, so we mustn't have been too horrible of a show.
We're good hosts. What can I say? We're good hosts. We know our shit. It happens. It's a good problem to have.
You know your shit, and I'm just.
I think we just dropped Matt. Oh, is he coming back? Holy shit, he's coming back. What you said?
I don't know. My internet's acting weird. We got BKFC the following week on Thursday, the 8th. We'll have Joe Elmore and Nate Shook, the matchmaker. Joe Elmore fought Tom. I don't know if you know too much about BKFC, but it was a good fight. BKFC 12 in Daytona was an. I'm just really enjoying bare knuckle fighting.
And you got press passes. You got in there in Florida. I'm gonna be flying down when I film the movie with Justin.
Next BKFC, you need to come down here.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be the after parties. You have not been to an after party to go to an after party with me, because trust me, kid, stick with me. We're gonna have a good time.
I wasn't able to get to the after party. Justin Sims went. It was the Goat Shed guys had a big old after party. So that's like the new happening gym down in Miami.
Yeah, I love the CEO. Dave is a great guy, and can't wait to party with those guys. Can't wait to watch the fights personally. Again, I told Dave my misconceptions with BKFC and how I was able to overcome them. And, I love the product. I love the sport. Not too much on top of it like I should be. But, I've always been a mixed martial arts fan.
In different, got all sorts of different MMA, and now you're getting BKFC type and just bare knuckle in general going. So there's a lot to keep up on.
Right, and I'm strictly amateur. I'm pro when it comes to my knowledge. I'm a human Wikipedia when it comes to mixed martial arts and boxing. BKFC, not so much. So I apologize if I'm not up with my knowledge. I'm just learning about it. But great guest coming on. I can't wait to talk to him. Can't wait to talk further about BKFC. Very, very exciting. So gonna wrap up the show. Matt, producer, any last words, please?
Peace.
And short and sweet, just like you, sir. So thank you very much, boys and girls, all my bros and hoes in different area codes. Thank you so much for tuning into the Fight Mixer. Tune in on Wednesday for Ladies Night. Tune in on Thursday. We're going to have Don Fry on. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Fight Mixer podcast, we will see you later. Peace. Longest goal of my life. Holy shit.
Hi, I'm Matt Seibel, producer of the Fight Mixer Show. We have a good lineup of guests coming up next week. Take a look for yourself.